bitch pussy made, in air quotes, man. And it's like, dude, why are you talking like if I go to TwitchCon, you're the one who's going to try and shoot me? Like, what the fuck is this dork doing? He tweets about you all the time. I mean, he should, you know, I'm glad that there's something keeping him busy, you know? And he's not like harassing like a random trans content creator or a random woman on the internet. You know, I'll take that. I'll shoulder that for everybody else. Didn't you destroy this man in basketball when he was when I did the OTK thing? Yes, I did. The answer to your question is yes. I did do that. Please come to school tomorrow ad posting. Yeah.
Platform. Hassan and people like Hassan have been pushing violent rhetoric and supporting terrorists for years. That is, with how crazy things feel in America right now, are you afraid to go to large events in public? And connected to that question, we've seen political creators here and there canceling things individually, as well as big creators like Hassan Piker, Valkyrie, Cutie Cinderella, and others announcing that they're going to be skipping TwitchCon later this month over safety concerns. And the latest person to drop out was Hassan, who during a stream announced that he wasn't going to go to the event. And he fleshed out his reasoning.
I missed the social Hassan era. There is unfortunately an obvious setback there because of, one, all the political incidents that have taken place, and two, how those political incidents have had some pretty significant consequences in how much I can go out in the real world and socialize with other people. As I said already, I'm not going to TwitchCon, not because I'm worried about my own safety, but I'm literally not going to TwitchCon because I'm worried about the safety of others. I don't want to put them in the fucking crosshairs if some psycho freak decides like, I'm going to go there. I'm very publicly not going to TwitchCon for that reason.
Right, and that decision, it came after Valkyrie and Cutie Cinderella made it very clear over the last 2 weeks that they would also not be attending the event, with their initial thoughts popping up on their podcast Whine About It.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I've been so anxious and scared and sad this whole past week with everything that's been going on for multitude
Damn, Whine About
of
It
reasons
mentioned.
that I told Cutie, I was like, I'm kind of afraid to go to TwitchCon.
Yeah. We're in a bit of a conundrum with TwitchCon. We may... Listen, it's not... I have...
It's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us. I have told... Because we're supposed to do Whine About It live at TwitchCon. Love Twitch for supporting our show. I have given them a soft, hey, we're in a bit of a panic mode right now.
Will we ever stop panicking?
That's the problem. I don't know if
think
we're
we
being...
will.
Because I don't feel... The problem is right now, I don't... Respectfully, I don't feel irrational about it. I feel very...
I think it's valid.
Scared.
Yeah, it just takes one person.
Your stalkers are so upset about you not going, lol. Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it online. A lot of people, it went viral on Twitter, and a lot of people basically demonstrated exactly why I was making this decision. Like, it was pretty crazy to see. The thing is, like with TwitchCon, like I'm still gonna do public events. Like I'm obviously gonna be out and about in France and whatnot. And I've always been careful not to like reveal whatever public thing I'm doing ahead of time, for a multitude of different reasons. But as far as like a major event where I would be one of the headliners and like very publicly saying that I'm going, like TwitchCon, I think that it's just there's too many variables. There are too many variables at play, and it doesn't make sense to put other people in the crosshairs, so to speak. No one, I'm not trying to make a double entendre here, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense to risk other people.
Yeah.
And then they go on to mention Ari Sato, who was a Japanese live streamer that was stabbed to death in the middle of a stream by someone local media called an anti-fan. With things like that, as well as the killing of Charlie Kirk and politicians, it's obviously been at the front of a lot of people's minds, which led to Valkyrie saying last week,
I'm just really uncomfortable with the world right now. Just so you guys know, Cutie and I are not going to TwitchCon anymore. We did back out. America is in a weird spot. Weird things are happening, and it's just, I don't feel safe. I open up, see the news, and then I'm like, holy moly, what is happening?
And in general, there was a sentiment that there's a big overlap of people who hate watch streamers and those who are extremely politically active on platforms like Twitter. And here's how Pokimane put it last week.
Here's the way I view it, especially with all the recent news surrounding Charlie Kirk. And of course, a lot of political talk happens on Twitter. And also for us, people like me, Ray, Cutie, other female streamers, the people who feel the most negative and most like passionately hateful.
Yeah, this is also the other side of it is like there's always a permanent environment of insecurity for female streamers in general because they have like a shit ton of stalkers. And given the way that this kind of activity is conducted online, there's not a lot of great current great efforts to create an environment of security. Like there's not really much you can do about cyber stalking and like this kind of shit. So it makes perfect sense for a lot of these people to feel even less safe in this environment, you know?
Towards us also tend to be on Twitter, and the streaming and Twitter community just have a lot of overlap. So sometimes it's just scary. And when you see that kind of negativity, you're like, do I want to tell people where I'm going to be in person? I actually don't know. I don't really like using Twitter too much because I don't, when I look at the replies, I'm like, who are these people talking to? I sure as hell don't think it's me. Like, I'm like, you guys are not my community. How do you even know me? Or you post a selfie, people start losing their shit.
Right, and with that, you had people saying, you know, you can just look to the replies to the news that Valkyrie and QT weren't going to see the overlap. Or with people posting things like, makes sense, dating Hassan puts a huge target on your back because he supports terrorists and call for violence on others. Twitch should ban him. With that appearing to be in reference to claims that Valkyrie and Hassan are dating. Right, and while I don't care or know if that's true, I guess what matters is that the perception is that they are, and it puts her in danger. We also have others like streamer Tectone, who's recently become extremely vocal about culture and politics, seeming to use the opportunity to push the narrative that all the recent shooters are left-leaning and figures like Hassan are to blame. In reaction to Hassan not going to TwitchCon, he wrote, Hassan, you're the one who's causing these consequences the most out of any streamer on the planet.
Tectone talking like a fucking school shooter is so crazy because like he literally is like, now you're too afraid to show face after saying everyone was overreacting. What a liar.
He knows the dangers he has caused for others. He's now too afraid to face the very beast he's created. And then along with
bro went to the LA riots, but TwitchCon is too much for him. Yeah, exactly. It goes to show that obviously for me, it's not a matter of my own fucking safety. It's a matter of the safety of others. And also, what do you mean you created this beast? It's ironic because this is quite literally part of the reason why I think like some dumb fuck who's a Rape Tone fan is going to take matters in their own hands because they're like, oh, I know Hassan is going to TwitchCon. I'm going to fucking make a name for myself. And then accidentally end up shooting a bunch of other fucking people that are attending TwitchCon. That's the reason why I'm not going. How are people blaming you for your own stalking and death threats? I mean, this is proof as to why, it doesn't make sense for me to fucking go to TwitchCon. This is like the whole point. This is literally the reason. Like, what kind of fucking statement is this? And it's such a crazy situation because, like, I have to make a public statement about it so that, I discourage psychos from fucking attending. And meanwhile, I'm making a public statement about it, making it clear that it's not about even my own personal safety, but the safety of others because of people like Tectone. Okay? Because of this kind of sentiment that you hear all over the internet. If you look at my fucking replies, you see it, right? So many people are just like, oh, I can't wait for the government to deport you, arrest you. I'm going to come and shoot you in the fucking head, shit like that. But like, obviously, if the sea of death threats, if the sea of death threats discouraged me, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, right? You can't, I have a policy of not letting fear guide my life or guide my commentary. Having said that, even the
He knows that
even the additional, statement here shows that it's not about my own personal safety necessarily, but the safety of others.
a number of people mocking the idea that Hassan was comfortable going to a protest, which inherently have a level of risk, and now he
This guy LARPs as a revolutionary but wants to stay home during TwitchCon so he can stream and make more money. A tale as old as time, says Destiny. Oh, once again, I don't even LARP as a revolutionary. I'm a fucking Twitch streamer. This is a statement that my haters have applied to me. Once again, they are setting the standards that they made up for me on their own, in their own minds, only to turn around and say, you're not abiding by those standards. But once again, yeah, TwitchCon is the revolutionary activity that I should be engaging in.
doesn't want to go to TwitchCon. So then with that, you had others pushing back a counterpoint saying that things have dramatically changed in America since then, as well as the fact that Hassan says that he's doing this to protect his fans. But no matter where you stand on this, what you're seeing is Twitch trying to reassure people that the event will be perfectly safe, with CEO Dan Clancy saying on a live stream,
just in terms of safety and security at TwitchCon in light of recent events.
Yeah, I've been shot at fucking ICE protests, man. The fuck are we talking about? Also, Philip DeFranco literally posted the idiotic take from a dude who is not only in the crosshairs himself currently, but also someone who Philip DeFranco personally covered, issuing a death threat against me literally a week prior to this. Like, Sex Pestany unironically said a straightforward death threat, issued a straightforward death threat to me directly, and Philip DeFranco covered it. That was like, what, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? I mean, yeah, it's just so stupid. So, in any case, as I've made clear, this is one of the more high-profile large events that I would be a part of. The Epstein take is at the top threat on LSF, by the way, posted by the guy that was in here a week or two ago screeching at you, who regularly posts threats on you on LSF. These cultists are the worst. I mean, they got no motion. That's why they're doing it. They're chirping into the fucking wild. They are trying to do their very best to smear, to slander, to professionally misunderstand the point I was making. It is what it is. They got no motion overall. They just have like their own little echo chambers on the internet where they just screech into the fucking wind over and over again. There are obviously much larger issues at play here. And I think a lot of people, when they realize what the government is doing, what the administration is doing, what things look like in the fucking real world, will inevitably notice that these guys are just simply fighting the wrong battles. Okay? That's it. Like, even their audiences will eventually